Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon, your host, and of course we're at the Peppermill Lounge, absolutely fabulous in Las Vegas. I have Sal with me, and Sal actually is in the same business that I'm in, actually, which is, entertainment, talk, hosting, and all that stuff. But you do yours mostly in sports.
Yes, I do a sports and entertainment show. It's largely sports. It's called the Sports Circus.
Sports Circus?
Yes.
Is it a circus?
It's a circus every day, and I prove it.
It's a circus every day.
Yes. It's ridiculous.
It is.
It really is.
It's the sports arena is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and which is cool.
It's great.
But America is very sports, isn't it? Sports oriented.
Very much so.
America.
Even the corporate side of America is still sports driven. That's why I feature business guests and people from entertainment as well.
So you have both of them on your show.
Right.
So now let's hear a little bit about your show against my show, because I'm totally different to your show, but at the same time it's a talk show.
Correct.
The same thing but different.
It is. It's topical. It's satirical, fun, playful, but drilled down when it has to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what are you finding out there? What do people want to hear? What do they want to? What encourages them to listen coming from you?
People love stories. They love the storytelling side of it. So, for example, most sports shows that are out there today, they will have rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Right? So you have maybe 10 questions in 5 minutes or something like that, and you're off. For me, my guests will stay on for 1, 2, 3 segments, maybe even the whole show, maybe even for a whole hour or two. And we'll get to know them.
Yes.
Whether it's the mayor or somebody or a Hall of Famer, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
But people want to hear their stories. They want to get to know them, and I give them the opportunity
to tell their story.
For the audience to get to know them instead of just rapid fire questions.
Well, instead of just being the mayor of Vegas,
right.
Now they get to learn a little bit of behind the scenes of what his everyday life is and how did he get there. It's like me asking you, how did you get into the business you're in? How did you get into it?
Well, it's funny. I wasn't planning on doing it. I build companies for a living. That's what I do. But it just happens that one of my business partners is a 12-year NFL veteran quarterback.
Okay.
And so...
What's his name?
Jim Everett.
Jim Everett, okay.
He's a good friend of mine.
Yes.
And so Jim...
It's cool, huh?
Right? So Jim had said, hey, do you want to get involved in this company with me? And I said, tell me about it. So he told me about it. Long story longer. He ended up saying, well, I'm involved in it and so forth. Do you want to be involved? Okay, fine, I'll be involved because you're involved. But then he said this particular software company was being advertised by a radio show. Mm-hmm. And so he says to me, you need to be involved and handle the relationship with the radio show. So I said, I could do that. So I met them. They invited me onto their show. It went really well. Then they invited me back the next day. It went really well. Then they invited me back again. I said,
this is cool.
I got to get back to Vegas. And this was in Southern California. It was on ESPN over in Southern California.
Yes.
So I said, I'll tell you what. I'm going to call in if you want me to. They said, great. We'll have the producer make the time for you, and you'll be a regular part of our show. And then,
oh, how wonderful.
Here's the fun part about it. Because my name is Sal. I'm Sicilian. I'm from Chicago. I live in Vegas.
I thought he was going to say it's from Italy somewhere.
My family is.
He's from Chicago.
My family is.
All right. Well, yes.
And
okay.
so
we'll forgive you for that.
The best part about it was one of the lead voice on the other show, that ESPN show, he said, all right, well, his name is Sal. He's Italian. He's from Chicago. He lives in Vegas. He's got to be a bookie. So they started calling me Sal the Bookmaker.
At least they didn't say Sal the Bookie.
Right. No, but the bookmaker.
Right.
So I took that character name for a year and a half on this other show, but then I realized, I'm only one of 5 people on this show, and there's got to be a better way to do this. There's 5 people clamoring for a microphone. It doesn't really
serve its purpose.
No.
It's too quick. You're not getting enough out of it.
Not only was it quick, but it was lacking depth.
Yeah.
So I said, I think I could do this better myself. So I started my show after a year and a half of that. And so I said, well, I'm going to surround myself with winners from all these different sports. And guess what? People love it. Every month, I'm averaging over 4 million web hits.
Wow.
Plus.
Hey, listen to that, Steve. 4 million web hits.
4 million.
But we're going to get on that list.
I know, right? But also, my show now airs on CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast.
As a radio show?
As a radio show.
Okay.
And I'm launching AMP TV. And so AMP TV is my channel, and I'll be airing again on AMP TV across the country on regular television, not just streaming television. This is
No.
going to be a regular TV station. You're at home. You're
And
sitting
you're going
in
to
your
go
kitchen.
national. So will
Yes.
you be on a definite station, a definite
I will.
channel?
Yeah, market by market, I'll be on different channels.
Market by market, you'll be
Yes.
on different channels. Now, you work for NBC. How long have you worked for them?
Well, my show is airing on NBC News, NBC Financial, and NBC Sports. So
Okay.
I don't technically work for NBC,
Oh, okay.
so I don't have to answer to them.
No,
which
but
is
they
great.
pick your show up.
Well, yeah, my show is carried in Southern California, for example, in that market. I'm
Okay.
on 3 stations over there,
Right.
2 FM, 1 AM,
Okay.
at 5 p.m.
So what are you doing now? Are you with FM, AM? Who are you? Where are you? What are
All
you
of them.
doing? You're on all of them. So
Yeah.
what are you doing? You actually based in Vegas, right?
Based here, right
why
here in Las
did you? Why
Vegas.
did you want to be based in Vegas? Or why did you become based in Vegas? I guess is the
Well, you know,
question.
I moved to Las Vegas in 1990.
Oh,
a
well,
long
that
time
probably
ago,
could
so-
be the reason why. 'cause
Yeah,
you
I mean,
live-
it's
because
been a
you
few
live
years.
there.
Right, it's been a few years.
Yeah.
But I love Vegas, and this venue, I love this place. I come here as much as I can. This is one of those
You
old
talk
school
about the
places.
Peppermill.
That would be the
the
Peppermill.
Peppermill Lounge, amazing, but also the Peppermill Restaurant.
Correct. But this is the go-to place for when my friends come into town. I'll bring them to the Peppermill so they can enjoy
How lovely.
fireside chats
Yes,
and stuff like that.
yes.
It's fantastic.
Well, it's a very cozy place to be.
It is.
The lighting's beautiful. The whole ambiance of the place is absolutely lovely. And I'm in my 4th year here.
Well, you know,
and they've
it's a
treated
taste
me
of old
really.
Vegas.
Yes, it is.
And I love
Yes.
that. I love old
And I'm
Vegas.
a little bit of old Vegas because I'm 39 and holding. I won't say how long I've been holding, but
Right.
39 and holding. But it's nice to keep the old Vegas because Vegas is so
Yes.
different now, isn't it?
It is.
There's a big difference with the corporate.
It really is. It's lost its personality. It lost its flavor.
Really?
And I think the Peppermill, for example, I'm partial to this place because I like it.
But it hasn't
it's-
lost its flavour. It's still got its original.
The city hasn't lost its flavor.
No.
It lost a lot of its personality
Yes.
when they got too big, and now you can't say, "Hey Joe, I need a buffet for 2 over here. I want a steak for our buddies, Bill and Bob over here, or Susie and Mary." It's not like that anymore.
No.
Now it's all computerized. Everything is based on statistics of how much money is being spent. And that part of it, that personality part, where you could go to your host or to the casino manager or the floor man and say, "Hey, these are the things that I want. Could you
Yes.
help me out? I have a family of 4 coming in here, and they're good friends of mine. Can you
Yeah.
take care of them? Get them a room over at the Augustus Tower,
Yes.
over at Caesar's Palace."
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
No, you can't. Because I know my husband and I used to gamble here anyway, so we used to go to comp rooms anyway, so it was,
Right.
we always have. But I don't think that is, and it has changed on that. And that's because it's all corporate now.
Right.
So do you think the casinos are hurting now, gambling-wise, or?
They are. Well, the drop is off. Number
Oh, it
one,
is?
the drop's dramatically off. And remember, the local traffic doesn't come down here like it used to because now they charge for parking up and down the strip.
See, this is the problem.
That's right. So the drop is
So your,
off.
your locals are not going.
Correct. The drop is off, and on top of it, the hotels and casinos are making money from restaurants and entertainment. That's their primary driver for making money these days. I invest in every one of them. I trade stocks in them. So I have to
Really?
know this. Yeah.
So the gambling is totally off.
The gambling is off. And there are going to be...
But that was their main thing. I mean, they're not going to ever make as much money on food as they are going to on gambling.
But the clubs, though, is where they make their money. Think about this.
Okay, let me think.
Go back maybe 25 years ago here in Las Vegas,
Yes.
30 years ago. You'd walk into one of the local clubs. I don't know if you remember the old Shark Club on Koval and Harmon, right behind the Aladdin Hotel.
Okay,
All right. You'd walk in, you'd pay $5-10 for
Cocktails,
cover.
please. Cocktails.
You'd get your drink.
yes.
The timing is impeccable.
Timing is perfect.
Right. And so you would spend maybe $50 inside
Yes.
the place, something
Yeah.
like that. Nowadays, you have to go into a club, you have to stand in line, you get your table, you pay $1,000 for your table, you pay $1,000 for your bottle of $10 or $20 alcohol, whatever. You have your service. This is true. Everybody knows this that goes clubbing in Las Vegas today. So
We're
the
talking
casinos
about the good clubs, the nice clubs.
even the mediocre clubs
Well,
in the hotels,
they've now got cover charges.
big cover charges.
Yeah, and it's completely. I mean, I love change. I love things that are different. But I do truly believe this parking thing was a mistake.
Yeah.
I think that because that kept away the locals. I mean, because you've probably got more locals now in Vegas than you've ever had.
Right.
You've got houses being built, apartment buildings
There's
being built.
2.2 million people in this demographic.
Yes, and there wasn't like that, 30 years ago.
1 million.
Yeah, so it's a big increase, but those people don't really want to pay parking. They want
No.
to go to the hotels, but they don't want to pay the
Do
parking.
you find yourself at the strip hotels being a resident here?
I not as much as I used to, no.
Same.
But I used to tip them because I would always have valet parking. I love valet parking, so I'd always valet park because I never like to walk around anywhere. I'm not that type. And so my tip used to be, I will give it. So what it costs now, I can't tip anybody. Well, I can still tip them, yes, don't misunderstand me. But it becomes like $30, and you haven't done anything yet.
Right. Well, just imagine going to the club. You're going to spend 5 G's. I have friends that come in here from Chicago or from LA, and they come knowing they're going to spend $10,000 on a night out at a club, and they bring in a party of 10 to 12. That's where they're making their money. Right, they're not making the money at the casino. There's no risk with the club, whereas there's risk with the game of chance.
Yes,
That's how the casinos are making their money now.
Yeah.
For the hotels, that is.
Yeah. So, with all your hosting and all what you do out there, what is the greatest feeling you've had, or the greatest thing you feel you've accomplished in what you do?
People send nice notes. They call in. They participate with the guests. And they love the guest list, but they love the dialogue because it's loose at 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Most people are worried about, where am I going to spend my money?
Yes.
I want to have some fun. When you're going to work at 8 or 9 in the morning, whatever it is,
you don't think about spending your
you're
money.
thinking about getting to work. So people are at ease and they like it because it's fun and my show is silly. People laugh. The sports circus is that way.
Are you silly on
ridiculous.
The show? I love it.
Absolutely
I love
ridiculous.
it. Because you've got to have your own gimmick, your own thing that goes on. I don't know what mine is. I think mine's because I got an English accent. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
But I'm very free. And mine's more like a little chat. Mine's more like a coffee table chat, like we're having right now. That's what my show is kind of about, and sort of finding out who they are, what they do in Vegas, and wherever they are and what they're up to, and to sort of give them that opportunity to be seen. Like I have a lot of bands on, so they can be seen. So
Right.
It helps a lot of people.
Well, it does. And you have to let the people talk. Let the audience get to know your guest.
Yes.
Right? Your job is you're the conduit to the audience.
Yes.
And people will watch you for years because that's what you do.
Yes. So
They
you
say,
have to bring it out.
Right, she has a great way of bringing this out. And we're going to tune in every chance we get to watch.
Did you get to see any of my shows
I
before
have.
you came on? And so I'm going to ask them. Let everybody know. You've got to say something nice. I'm teasing. What did you think?
Nice and smooth. No pressure. Because a lot of hosts will pressure their guest into getting an answer. It's either A or B. Which one is it?
Yes.
You will say, is it A or B? But guess what? They can give the answer of or,
Oh,
and that's
yes.
good enough.
Yes.
Right?
I
And I
don't
like that because
don't
it's
like
not
to-
a high pressure.
No, it's not. I don't like the high pressure them because I know some people, they're very nervous, or they don't. They don't want to say certain things because of certain parts of their life, and
Correct.
I'm not going to pressure them into that because that's not fair. It's like you. I love what you do. You've been around a long time. Most people know you in town, don't they?
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
What do
same
you-
thing in LA and the other cities too.
What do you think about the? I think it's the West Point has that sports.
South
arena.
Point.
South Point. Sorry, yes,
Right.
South Point. Yeah, they have that sort of thing they built for sports people to come in. Have you ever been there?
I have not spent any time there, and there's a reason for it, but I'm not necessarily focused on the betting aspects of sports.
No.
I do talk about it, and I'm fairly good at picking the games, but my content is not statistics driven. It's not driven on injury reports. It's not this team's better than this team because of this set of data. I don't care about that. There are other radio stations and television stations that focus on that.
So what's
That's
your
not my
focus?
area.
So what's your
Personalities.
personality?
Yes.
So you want to go to kind of sort of things that have happened to them, how they've got there, or
Right. How'd you make a transition from professional football to business?
because that's a big thing, to change. Because sometimes a lot of these people that are in show business, and football is still show business because everybody's watching.
is.
And the big problem with a lot of people is they don't save their money, and that's a big problem. They don't save enough money to continue their career. As of not playing, but maybe doing something else, and they don't
Right. They don't. I do shows on this very regular. This exact topic.
Really?
And I do. And many of the show issues are so the athlete will get uncomfortable because they're being painted mentally into a corner. Well, Joe, you blew $85 million. What are you doing now?
Yes.
Well, I'm on the speaking circuit. That's great, but Joe, what are you doing for business? Speaking circuit is just that.
So you're kind of embarrassing them as to what they did with their
They
money.
embarrass
and they
themselves.
Don't, well, of course they do.
Yeah, I don't.
But when somebody asks them a question of, well, what did you do with your 85 million? Who wants to answer that when they don't have any of it left?
Well,
hello.
Correct. But so most of the time, they will come on, and I'll purposely pick people that have been successful. Like last week, I had billionaire Jeff Hoffman on the show.
Okay.
And
yes.
Jeff was a great personality because he's closely tied to the sporting world. He's also the founder of mega monster companies.
Yes.
A CEO, mind you, in 50 different countries. He's on the board of directors for different companies on 6 continents.
That's pretty amazing.
Unbelievable.
Pretty amazing.
I mean,
because I guess most people want to think, well, how does he manage to keep an eye on all of them?
Right.
But he does.
He does. But the reason I bring somebody like him on is because he's closely tied to the sporting world.
Yes.
And his close friends, he's given advice on to Derek Jeter for the Florida Marlins, for Miami Marlins, they call him now. For Ray Lewis is a close friend of his. Evander Holyfield's a close friend of his. And we get great stories. Remember I said storytelling.
Yes, storytelling.
Yes.
Yeah,
and so these are the angles that people don't get by watching the 4-letter network. And that one begins with an E, right? It ends with an N, but we won't say the others.
I love it.
But they just give general data, and they'll do this segment for 30 minutes, but it doesn't drill down deep enough
as to what people really want to listen to, and people really want to
do it.
Yes. How did you get there, and how did you make that happen, and how did you start with nothing, or how did you have so much money and you still want to do this? It's all sort of it's going back and forth with somebody's actual personal life of how they lived when they were in the spotlight.
Right. And a lot of people, they've gone broke, then they've made it. Then they've gone broke, and then they've made it. Right?
Well, that happens to everybody. And if any of you out there don't understand, you can go broke and you can make it again. You really, really can.
Yes.
And people don't understand that. They think I'm broke and I'm going to be like this the rest of my life. That is not true.
That's absolutely
Absolutely
correct.
not true. Because you can always stop, but you use that experience and then you go get the next one.
That's right.
On that, we have to unfortunately close the show. How can anybody get in touch with you?
Well,
Would
they
you like
could,
to give them information?
Sure. Folks, if you want to follow the Sports Circus, go to Twitter. It would be at the Sports Circus. On Instagram, we are TSC Show. On Facebook, of course, the Sports Circus. And check us out at thesportscircus.com. Just Google 2 words, sports and circus. Will be the first hit, and there it is. Click on the site. You'll be there with 4 million other people every month.
See, I love that. I'm going to get his 4 million people onto Vegas Live with me. Can you do it for me out there? Because you're the ones that have to do it. I just have to be entertaining enough. Am I entertaining enough?
Very much so.
What else can I say? He's sitting on camera.
I'll have to bring you onto the circus.
Oh, I would love to be on your program. I would love it.
Anything could happen.
I could love it. Oh, okay. I don't care. I'm quick.
What's your sports specialty, real quick?
My sports specialty is golf.
Perfect. You can talk golf with me.
I didn't even see that, but golf, and you know why I love golf? I love Tiger Woods. I know that everybody says, Ninon, you're nuts. I'm not. I just love the way he's handled everything. Everything he's handled, from a kid to his father, and then the passing of his father was the saddest thing for Tiger Woods. Kind of his downfall a little bit. But that's why I like golf.
So you can talk golf with us.
Oh, I can talk golf. I can talk tennis, because I used to know what was the famous Olympian tennis player, Ted, what was his last name? I can't remember his last name. And this is going back into the 1950s. And he won the Olympic golf tournament.
When you come in,
I'll have it all written
I'll
out.
invite my other English lady friend, who is a tennis phenomenal.
Oh, lovely. I love it. Oh, she'll know
base.
who I'm talking about.
No
then.
question.
Yes.
And
yes.
so I'll have 2 ladies. We'll do a show for the ladies.
I have a show for the ladies. About
Right.
time, right? No, it's not.
Right.
We're always out there.
And you can talk tennis and golf and everything English.
And whatever else. Everything English. I love it. I love it. Thank you. He's a great guest to have on anybody's show. So share him around. He's absolutely amazing. I love you. Thank you for coming on and giving us the time.
This was a lot of fun.
We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon. Take care. Don't forget, subscribe. YouTube.